We don't have that kind of experience.
Yeah, we haven't had. Are you calling this combat, or are you talking about dealing with militia type movements, or
this is almost more than a militia. Armed groups. This is more than a militia. It's more than an armed group. Why do I say that? Esther says, ever since Black Hawk Down, that was in Somalia, which was a huge shock on Clinton's Marines, the U.S. is wary of third world military missions. That's why they call upon black people to solve their problems.
And we should not be. I think we use Somali loosely. Somali was such a long time ago, and things have changed in terms of even weaponry that is being deployed and weaponry that people are actually using right now. Things have really, really, really changed, right? So I think again, there's things like drones that now have become part and parcel of military fighting, right? Mm-hmm. There's the heat-seeking stuff, like whether it's ammunition, or like they have ways of what is it called? Looking at a building and you can actually see people, people in bunkers. You're in a plane and you can actually see people hidden in bunkers, and rockets are over there being fired, and they're precision tuned artillery. Let me put it that way, right? Hakuna kuhepa hiyo kitu. Once they've set it in and locked in, that thing is coming after you. It doesn't matter where you go. It's got you, unless itagonga kitu ambayo unless it's gonna gonga a wall and they can't go behind that wall.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that thing got you. So the weaponry has become much more advanced from where the things that they were using in Somalia. Now back to this whole Haiti thing, and I think also part of it for us as Kenyans looking on from the outside, watu wa diaspora tunaongea, watu wa Kenya pengine kuna wale wanaongea, they're saying something. It's the, for lack of a better word, the laissez-faire attitude that the government has towards doing stuff. They just get up, do it, and move on. And and they're like, okay, the normal mwananchi is supposed to swallow it and keep moving. Yet internally, we have issues. We have issues in Lamu. We have issues in Wajiri. We have issues in Mandera. Kapedo ilikuwa sio ni hiyo area nini?
That's northern Kenya. Kapedo, I think that's in. I think it's either in Turkana. I believe it's in Turkana County.
Kumbuka, even didn't we have? Was it a member of parliament who was killed out that way? There was.
That I don't recall.
Yes,
but I know there were police who were killed.
There was police. I think it was a police chief or something or whatever it was, and there was man, the guy was high ranking. There was somebody who was, I think it was even kidnapped.
Yeah,
or something,
right? Someone who knows about it maybe drop that in the
comments. And they even went.
They
tried to go in after that person. There's been several incidents that have happened in the Northeast Corridor that have been very, very worrying about security. And yes, we've had insecurity issues that we've been dealing with Somalia for a long time, since days of Shifta.
Yeah.
But things had calmed down. We didn't have those issues. And then the time when Raila was PM, that time was 2000.
That was 2011 when we deployed to Somalia.
Yes. And that was after sasa watu walianza kutupa magrenade. Unakumbuka wakitupa magrenade kwa, like I remember, there's a, like in Westlands, River Road, whatever, there were grenades being thrown in. There were
walikuwa narusha kwa mabana kwa nini?
Yes.
Kwa booking office za mabasi.
Correct. And that was
like where there are people. Yeah.
Yes, and it got to the point where they said, "That's it, we're done, we're going in."
But one thing that I'm always curious about, and this is because we don't have information. The gangs in Haiti, for example, we know Haiti doesn't manufacture weapons. Where are they getting the guns? Where are they getting the ammunition? Whenever we hear about, even in this Sahel belt in Africa, where there was a lot of coups, there's a lot of groups that are always armed to the teeth. Where they're getting their guns, and where they're getting the ammunition. We know the countries that manufacture guns and ammunition, and they're not in Africa, they're not in Haiti. So that's something curious that that we need to know, because you may have
I think
guns.
there's somebody who's funding those gangs.
Absolutely.
And there's a
Correct.
reason why those
Yeah.
gangs are being funded.
Yes, but
And especially when governments are overthrown, where it comes with political unrest comes in, it usually is more than just an insecurity measure, or let's say criminal gangs. Those gangs are playing, again, the way Kenyans are pawns, those gangs are also pawns to another proxy war.
Okay.
There's too much politics about Haiti in regards to the French, Americans, and
But what about the minerals? What is it that's supposed to be over there? It's
They have a mineral
it's
called
uranium. Like what is
called
that
iridium.
thing called?
There's
Yes.
a mineral called iridium.
Yes,
and
which
peop-
isn't that down for batteries?
yeah, and people are saying that's one of the things that
And they're the only people
that the
who have
French-
it. Basically, our guy stock yao aishi.
Yes, and then upper award where it says, so the UN compelled African Union to prevent Haiti to joining the AU, and now they are sending Africans for peacekeeping in Haiti. Slay says, Samora said, the day you hear the West praise me, know I have done something wrong. And this is, I think, in reference to the fact that President Ruto got a shout out from President Biden during the United Nations speech. And then let me see. Pablo says the issues in Haiti are political, like those of Sudan. They should be left to sort themselves out first. Sudan is also a proxy war. Those militias, Russia versus the US, Sudan is also a proxy war. Like from my own assessment, and that's how, because I heard that that some drones being used in Ukraine were also seen in Sudan. So we know we know that this was, and that's a problem of this dalliance sometimes with Western leaders. You will get yourself into a rabbit hole where
Correct.
you might not be able to pull yourself out easily.
You may not be able to get out.
Yeah, and then Udi says a Kenyan cop who can't handle a matatu driver will handle those guys.
But
says,
let's be honest. I think Kenyan cop is being used loosely here. The police service that we have includes military type units.
yes, it does.
So let's not think of
The guy anakuambia utoe hongo.
yes, let's not think of that guy.
But the problem that I have, especially with Kenya, as far as any conflict or war situation is concerned, our military, forget about even the police, our military
Yes.
has not been involved in any war. I know they've been deployed to Somalia.
Correct.
But we don't necessarily have experience with combat, like the way, for example, the Ethiopian military has, the way the Sudanese have. We don't have that kind of experience.
Yeah, we haven't had. Are you calling this combat, or are you talking about dealing with militia type movements, or
this is more than a militia. Armed groups. This is more than a militia. It's more than an armed group. Why do I say that? These guys have assassinated presidents. And this is not the first president. Apparently, they've assassinated. They've assassinated previous presidents before. This gang issue in Haiti is from back. It didn't start,
it did.
Recently.
It did.
So these guys have experience with assassinating presidents. So that's not just a
I think like
militia.
after Papa Doc, that was those Jamas said
It's not just a ragtag militia. The reason, I know you also talk about the paramilitary trained police.
Yes.
The reason I personally don't have confidence in them is that these guys are normally cooked and fried by tribal militias in the north. These paramilitary trained units,
correct.
They are usually fried by
Correct.
tribal the Samburus, the Pokots, the Turkanas. They fry them.
No, you're right.
And it has happened, like multiple times.
And it's continuing to happen.
So-
I mean, they just had an operation when was that in June or something?
So in my thinking, if we have, like a police unit that cannot deal with our own local tribal militias, when you look back at the mandate, it allows for use of force. So in the unfortunate situation where we end up in a situation where force has to be used, I don't want to imagine what will happen. I mean, of course, we
they'll
don't want
have
anything
they'll
to happen
have
to our
US
police
manned
officers.
they'll have US drones.
I don't want anything to happen to our officers, but while being optimistic, I think we also have to be realistic, and that's
Correct.
the reason why, based on the experience, and that's the reason why I think it's important for the president to come and do a better explanation. There was a legality issue. Maybe Pablo can chime in on this. Former Chief Justice Willie Mutunga said that deployment of such a mission requires approval by Parliament.
Yes, and actually, Azimio had also protested, and they came out with a statement yesterday, and to that effect as well.
Yeah, in fact, actually, talk to us about that protest by Azimio. What did they say?
So they came out with a statement, and Azimio had come out with a statement on two things. So one was for the killings that had happened in Sondu, in Nyanza, and then the other was also for the deployment of troops to Haiti. And part of what was happening with the deployment of troops to Haiti was that it's the timing is wrong. It's uncalled for. It's it still has to be approved in Parliament. And that hasn't been done yet. Still got to go through that process.
Yeah.
But more so, why are we going outside to deal with issues outside when we have our own issues inside, including Lamu, including Western Kenya, that we are not dealing with, can't deal with, and are not dealing with, including in Sondu itself. In South Nyanza, where the guys, there's killing.
What's
that's
happening
been
in Sondu? Because that's another issue that has not been properly covered by the media.
Supposedly tribal clashes. Like rival. People.
Clashes
on the
between
border.
who and who?
It's what's on that border? Mika, do you remember the story?
Is it
it's border. Like, yeah, there's some issues over there, and
it's
supposed to be Kericho.
That region has three tribes.
Region Kericho. Go ahead.
And Luos, Kisis, and Kalenjins.
Yes.
Okay, so they're fighting for territory, or what exactly?
Supposedly, there's territory issues over there. So the line Kericho and so, and normally these people go back and forth.
They accuse each other of stealing stuff from each other. Basically, Bangombe, or they stole. That's how the conflicts usually start, by saying people went and stole on the other side. Then these guys come kill people. Then these ones retaliate, and before you know it, it's just some clashes.
Okay.
It's.
Okay, I mean, anyone who knows details,
but Mbaya, houses are being burnt, people are being burnt in the houses, it's really, really, really bad.
And then most of it is usually also peer political, instigated, because the political leaders are the ones who fund these youths.